Welcome to TJ's podcast.
Yes, the show where no subject is off limits. We'll go anywhere to talk about anything. We don't care. It just has to be interesting to me. If it's interesting to me, it'll be interesting to you because I'm going to make it that way. That's why. You're a TJ Fanatico, whether you know it or not. But if you want to be a real official TJ Fanatico and give some feedback and have your opinions taken into consideration and possibly win some prizes, go to acetj.com/fanatico and just answer a few little survey questions there to determine whether you deserve to be an official Fanatico or not. I mean, you know, it's kind of like some people say, Brother Riggins, that there should be a voting test. Like you should be able to pass a certain test, you know, about the way government works and all that stuff. I don't know that I agree with that. But that's what this is. You know, you got to pass the test to see if you are the right material to be an official TJ Fanatico.
Sure.
But I am in favor of not everybody's vote counting the same.
In what way?
Well, I think that if you are in the group of people that funds the government more than any other groups, then your vote should count more than somebody who doesn't contribute.
Really?
Yeah.
That's controversial.
You know, like a boardroom or stockholders. You know, people who own the most stock, their vote count has more weight than people who don't.
Does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Especially if you're getting paid by the government, you know, that should be like a conflict of interest.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you.
But anyway, if you want to be an official Fanatico, you can do that. Do it. All right, so here we go. Start with the Gram Slam today. Things all over the social medias that are interesting. There was a college girl who posted. This is a long little video that she made for the TikTok about something that her professor said to her that she thinks was creepy.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know whether I would say this guy is a prevert, but I don't know why I'm giving him any slack at all, because if he's a college professor, then I'm sure he's a Marxist. So either way, you decide whether or not you think this guy is a prevert.
I got an email today from my professor that I'm like 95% sure constitutes sexual harassment. The email was my grade and feedback for the honors presentation I had to do for this class, but he chose to like go off the rails and start talking about how my outfit was like encouraging people to fantasize about me. So I've blocked out the rest of it. But the part that was just so insane, I actually couldn't believe what I was reading, was, while I really liked it that you dressed for the occasion of your presentation, the short skirt that you chose to wear could be distracting to some folks in your audience. You did remain behind the computer station during most of your presentation, so your attire truly did not distract your audience. The issue with clothing that encourages fantasy is that it has the potential to distract from your presented content. Sincerely, what the fuck?
Okay.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
But I kind of, you know, I was a speech and theater major in college, and so when it comes to public speaking, I can kind of see what the guy is saying. I don't know that I would express it that way though.
Yeah.
And which may be what determines whether or not he's a prevert. I would say, hey, just make sure that you're not wearing something that could be giving the audience something to focus on other than what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, if you're wearing a short skirt, a lot of people in the audience would probably be focused on that.
That's what she says in a follow-up video. She goes, this is how I would have phrased it if I was the professor. You know, something about business professional or something along those lines.
And then she said another girl from had that teacher said that he told her that her shirt was too tight.
Yeah.
And you know, something like that.
A lot of comments about the outfits.
Mm-hmm. But he could always go, well, I was saying not to wear that stuff. If I was being a pervert, I would say wear it.
Yeah.
But I think you just you just can't use the term fantasy and fantasize.
It's the fantasy word that really sticks out. It could encourage fantasies, fantastical imagination,
and drooling.
Yeah, big old
Rich.
Yeah, boners. Whoa!
You don't want to. You're trying to give a serious speech, and you don't want to encourage woodies.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I see her point. But she got an A on it. She got a 94%.
So why she complain? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, and I think it's still in the process. Like, she went to the dean of the department or something like that, and he recommended that she go to the Title IX office. I don't really know what Title IX is about, but...
That's not some form of bankruptcy?
I don't know.
Oh, that's chapter.
Chapter 9. Yeah. Chapter 11.
Chapter 11.
I don't know. I didn't pay much attention in
Chapter
college.
13.
But I didn't have to file any complaints.
Yeah, none of my professors ever told me that I was, inducing fantasies when I gave my speeches for class.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd say it now. Horny old bitches. No, I'm kidding.
Fantasies.
Just
so many
kidding.
fantasies.
Yeah.
Weird.
And I think this guy is pretty funny. Okay, back to the other one just a second. What bothered me most about that girl's video is that I know this is nitpicky and people don't like it when I say stuff like this, but I just don't. It makes me cringe when somebody pronounces it presentation instead of presentation. Which one do you say?
Presentation.
You say presentation. Yeah.
But I think they're both correct, aren't they?
Yeah, but they both don't sound right.
Presentation.
Presentation makes it seem like that should be like the British way of saying it, and it would make sense if you hear some distinguished Brit and you want to make sure that your speech does not encourage sexual fantasies during the presentation. That sounds like it fits. They're going I gave my presentation. So it's like you're trying to sophisticate. It's like tucking your shirt tail into cargo shorts.
Oh yeah.
You try to dress up the cargo shorts. It doesn't work. It looks out of place. And people didn't do that in U.S. America before probably about 1998. I would think that's when that started. People saying presentation.
Well, what happened in '98 that made that happen?
I don't know.
Oh,
just somebody grabbed it from England, brought it over here, just like in the early 2000s when Americans started calling an ass a bum. That was a thing for a while, and then also saying no worries instead of you're welcome. Oh, I hated that phase. Waiting in a queue rather than in a line. If you want to be a damn Englishman, go over there and live. Don't come over here trying to change our stuff. That's what I say. All right, so this guy goes to a coffee shop and he found out something that was it was pretty funny. He's a cool guy.
I'm a regular at a coffee shop, and I found out that they have a name for me actually in the back house. It's the Yapper.
His nickname is Yapper. They call him Yapper. Here comes Yapper.
and then people are stitching the video saying like, oh yeah, I found out my nickname at this place and it's the blank, blank, blank. And it's like, that's terrible. And then other people are saying, well, that's why I'm not a regular at any place anymore. Because I don't want to have like a nickname.
Who cares?
Oh, that would irritate the hell out.
Who cares what they think?
Well, I don't. If you see them every day, I mean, you shouldn't care about people that don't mean anything to you. Mm-hmm. But if you're in a place every day, you become kind of at least acquaintances with these people, and you find out that they have like a nickname for you, and it's not a positive one. It's like the guy who talks too much. It's like that would make me do some like if somebody ever says like if I overhear somebody going, Riggins talks so much, that would crush me. That would crush me.
Well, I know a guy. He when he first started working out at my little friend Jenny's gym, he's a young single guy, and he made friends with the young single staff there, and he would hang around and talk to them all the time. And those were like the friends that he made when he moved here, I guess. Yeah. But he talks a lot, and they gave him a nickname like that, and he didn't know it until one time he was up at the gym and the electricity went out, and little friend Jenny and handsome husband Michael were at our house, and so they called her and said, "Hey, what do you want us to do?" Because the electric door locks and all that stuff. And she said, and Jenny had him on speaker because Michael was talking too, like giving his advice about, because he knows about the door and stuff. And Chelsea was the one on the phone. Her name's Chelsea. She's young, and Jenny goes, "Who all is up there now?" And she's named off the staff, She goes, "Well, it's me and I don't remember who it was. It's me and Meredith and Nick and Chats and
oh no."
And he's like, "What? I'm Chats?" It's how he found out that his nickname was Chats, because he talks all the time.
Yeah, and that would hurt my feelings, finding out that way, especially.
But that's a cool nickname, though. It's like, if somebody talks a lot, it's better than Yapper. It's more creative than Yapper. So. Chats. But it didn't bother him. He's he and Chelsea are pretty much engaged now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that talks a lot.
Chats. I mean, it's better than, I don't know. They could call you, flatulence. Here comes flatulence. I mean, if you're farting all the time, or would you rather be called, Chats or Yapper or Stinky?
Chats, I guess. One woman that stitched the video, she goes, "I go into a smoke shop. I'm a smoker, and one time it's like a father and son that work in the smoke shop day. One does the day shift and one does the evening shift, and she overheard the son tell the father, "Oh, guess what? Spanish boy girl is back." And she's kind of like a masculine kind of young, but wears the hoodie, and it would be hard to tell by looking. And he called her a boy girl, the Spanish boy girl. And I don't even think she's Spanish. Like it was like some other ethnicity. She goes, "I'm like the Spanish boy girl." So like it can be hurtful.
Yeah.
You don't want to find out that you got a negative nickname.
But I think people on social media lie a lot. Like this woman, there's no way she consciously says, "I'm not going to be a regular anywhere because I don't want them to give me a nickname." There's no way.
They said that's why I'm not a regular at a place. Like I guess just in fear that it might happen.
But that's why I don't believe it. I don't believe they sit and go, "You know what? I've been to this place twice this week, and I got to go somewhere else because I don't want to be a regular because I don't want them to give me a nickname." They're just trying to fit into the conversation and add something, and they're just lying.
Maybe.
I hate a damn liar. A liar and a thief, Riggins. I can't stand it.
That's right.
No way. All right, so we have some more of these. It's some pretty good stuff around the internets today, and we'll get to more of them coming up next.
TJ's Podcast.
Our friend, the world-famous Richard Toccato is here with us. And thank you so much for reaching out to Richard. He's telling us all the time about how many listeners are reaching out and saying, "Hey, show me about that refi, and let's do some stuff like that." That's the way you put it, though. Show me about that refi.
Show me about that refi. What you got about that refi? The cool thing is Ace has said, we have a lot of options, and we have, I'm doing refinances for people. We have people down in Greenville, North Carolina. We have them at the beach at South Carolina. We have them in Charlotte. And the main thing is to refinance, make their finances better, take the stress of every month. If I save them $700 a month, $800 a month, it's a big deal for them.
Yeah, it's a real big deal. $700 a month. That's fantastic. And again, we've talked about this before. Richard's a broker. That's how he gets more options than a bank. He can do more. Just go to homewithrichard.com to get started. Homewithrichard.com, the Richard Toccato Companies.
Hey, it's Ace, and for a long time, we've told you about Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic, and how phenomenal a job they did helping me with my left wrist. Well, this is Neil. Neil Simler is a member of the Ace and TJ Radio family. Neil, you took the free consultation to have them check out your elbow and talk about what happened just when you went for the free consultation.
They were very straightforward, and let me know that they weren't going to treat any of my ailments if they weren't 100% sure that they were going to be able to effectively help my issue. And never once were they pushy with trying to get me to spend more money and do, the higher end shots.
Now, 3 months later, how do you feel?
I'm 95% better, if not 100%. It's just been one of the best decisions I've made. Do yourself a favor, get out there as soon as possible.
Set up your free consultation today at acetj.com/neogenics. It's NEOGENIX. Neogenics, Charlotte's most trusted stem cell clinic.
Our nation's second president, John Adams, always slept on the left side of the bed. He believed this would increase his chances of having positive dreams and a more successful next day. That's why every mattress we sell here at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress includes a left side.
And for those that prefer waking up on the right side of the bed, our mattresses come with one of those too.
This President's Day, you can save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress. Back to TJ's podcast.
So we will be on vacation next week, but it won't matter to you because there will be brand new TJ's podcast episodes that I have recorded ahead of time for your listening and viewing pleasure. And it was pain in the ass, I'm gonna tell you.
That sounds like it.
As the kids say, I put in the work for you, the fanaticos. Kids do still say that, right? That's still one of the buzzwords. Do the work. Do the work. Do the work.
In relation to therapy, you got to do the work.
Okay.
About working on yourself.
Right. Or is it put in the work?
Put in the work. Do the work. I did the work.
Millennial women still saying they don't feel like adulting. Is that still a thing? I hope that's gone. I hope that went away like the barefoot kicker did.
Yeah. Things come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Some are more annoying than others.
People still say, I have no words. I hate that one too.
No words.
I have no words. And you know another one I don't like? You can't make this up. Well, yeah, you can. Somebody could probably make that up.
Yeah. There were some stupid ones on your video the other day of you talking about your Easter decor that Jody puts out of that rabbit.
Yeah. See, I never see the comments.
People trying to be funny.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, and it's like, let me read one. So dumb.
Yeah, I posted a video. This thing, it's plastic and it's brown. It looks like a chocolate Easter bunny, but it's not. It's a centerpiece on our table, and the rabbit is doing something weird, like straddling a stump or something. I don't know. It looks perverted, and I videoed that.
Yeah, I don't know. They're dumb. He's sitting on the toilet, and you open the door. You're the weirdo. I was like, okay.
Oh, that's
Try
cute.
to be funny. You try to be funny.
That's cute. Bless it. Okay, so I saw this thing and I thought it was an energy drink that 7-Eleven has that everybody's talking about because of the flavor it says it is.
Yeah.
It's hot dog water. Is that how they say it?
Hot dog flavored sparkling water.
Yeah. So it's not an energy drink.
No. Sparkling water. But it is, it is right around April Fool's Day.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like this is a real thing.
And are most things like this now any type of energy drink or specialty drink and all that? Is it always going to be in a tall can now?
I think so. Skinny, tall can.
You know what that is? That's the feminization of America is what that is.
Yeah.
Bring back masculinity.
Michelob Ultra might take some of the blame for that. I mean, that was
all of it, yeah.
The beer that I saw, I was like, oh, it's in a skinny can. It's like kind of, I don't know, very dainty.
Yeah, and then those White Claws and Trulies and all of that.
Now they're exclusively in skinny cans.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're a skinny bitch.
One thing that looks so weird to me. My son goes to a college up in the mountains of North Carolina, and we went up there one time when he was a freshman to a football game, and all the kids walking around tailgating and all of that, and this, I mean, big old country ass guy. I mean, he was huge, and he had on the like Wranglers and cowboy boots, and I mean, you could just tell he wasn't a poser. He was a country ass boy, and he's walking along carrying on his shoulder like a boombox, 12-pack of Trulies, and I'm like, that doesn't even fit. Even though I like a lot of those hard seltzer drinks, it just sometimes it just doesn't fit.
Yeah,
you know.
Hopefully, he was just buying it for the chicks that were at the party he was going to.
No, he had the end of it cracked open, and he was reaching in and like drinking out of the carton. Yeah, I mean, he's reaching there. And,
I saw that.
And he also didn't look like he'd be watching his weight either. Like skinny people, unless he's trying to lose weight, he just hadn't had any success yet. Maybe it was his first day on a diet. But yeah, skinny people shouldn't be. Like skinny guys shouldn't be drinking Trulies.
That's a good T-shirt.
I don't believe in all that.
No, I'm not drinking those.
So will you try the hot dog water?
Hell
Would
no.
you? Yeah.
But it tastes like crap.
Mm-hmm.
Hot dog water, and it's water. It's not even going to get you drunk. It's not going to get you high. It's not going to make you feel more energized. It's just hot dog water.
And was this you asking, or was this something going around the social medias where people were asking if parents used to drink water ever?
That's a big conversation that happens on social media all the time.
Yeah, mine didn't. You just you didn't just walk around drinking water all the time, or ever was there water as the beverage for a meal? It was always tea.
Yeah, so many kids are asking
tea.
their parents in conversation, "Did you guys drink water growing up?" And they go, "No, not really. Like no one drank water." And now we're a water obsessed. I mean, there's a whole hashtag. It's called Water Talk, where people on TikTok, share their recipes for water, and it's like the drops and the flavorings and stuff like that. It's a big thing.
And as a society, we're fatter and more unhealthy than we've ever been.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Yeah. Far more people are, constantly being beaten over the head with, working out and all this. We got way more people who work out and lift weights and run and do all of that stuff. Yet as a society, we're the most unhealthy we've ever been.
Yeah. You go into a gas station, convenience store, you go like in the water section. I mean, there's 100 options.
I know.
It's crazy. And there's like a new one every day. Everyone's drinking water now.
Or it's either the whole refrigerated section is either different flavors of water or energy drinks.
Yeah. We're very hydrated.
So you either got, people who are health conscious and looking to always hydrate themselves, or you got the rednecks. Nothing for normal people in there. No. But my grandmother, my Nana, was. It was pointed out that she was odd because she would just go fix a glass of ice water, and she'd go, "You know what? There are very few things I love more than just a good old plain glass of ice water," and she'd shake the ice in it and all of that. And everybody else in the family was like, "Oh, you just drinking plain water?"
So weird.
Yeah.
But now in every doctor's recommendations, like drink more water, stay hydrated, drink more water.
And then a lot of that came from marketing of bottled water.
Sure.
Yeah,
and there's people that do food reviews, and they're in their car and stuff, and there's one guy, he's like, and they only had Dasani, which everybody knows is crap water. It's the worst water. Which I kind of agree with as a millennial. Like, oh, there are better waters than other waters.
Yeah, and I can't tell the difference.
Yeah, we did a taste test in here one day, and I think we got like 5 out of 5.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the millennials did.
Mm-hmm. You can taste it.
Dumbass millennials. I drink water with every meal.
Yeah.
Even if I'm drinking beer, there's also a water sitting there to go to. It's crazy.
I started drinking a bunch of water in between beers.
Yeah.
Just to kind of alleviate the next day kind of thing. That's okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm just like stuffed.
Right.
So much water, and then I'm just constantly peeing.
So what is the ratio
1-to-1.
Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't be doing more than that. But were you being hungover though when you would wake up?
Yeah. And my dad gave me these things called Noons.
Mm-hmm.
My brother was selling them for a while. It's just like they're electrolyte tablets and stuff like that. And they're really good. But they're expensive. They're like $20 for a tube of these things. And there's like 6 of them in there. So it doesn't happen often, but sometimes, as my dad called, you got squash head. You got squash head. A little bit. Like on the day after, on Christmas morning when I woke up, I was hungover bad. I took a Noon.
Oh, yeah.
Sponsor us, Noon. It's great.
I can't remember the brand, but like when we go off on vacations and long weekends and stuff like that with little friend Jenny and handsome husband Michael, she brings these little packets of stuff you mix with the water, and it's supposed to put all the electrolytes back and all that stuff.
They even sell Pedialyte now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like definitely geared towards like you drank too much.
Mm-hmm.
Because people were drinking it anyway.
Yep. And you know who doesn't provide hangover cures and stuff? The Lord.
The Lord. That's right.
The Lord doesn't want you having a hangover.
No, he does not. That's gluttony is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sin.
You ever wonder if somebody dies when they're drunk, when they get to heaven, or are they still drunk trying to talk their way into through the pearly gates?
I haven't thought about that, but it's a fabulous question. I'd think they wouldn't be. Like they'd sober up on the way up.
Right.
But there's people that have like near-death experiences where they say they saw the light and stuff. Like, were you drunk in the light? Like, were you?
Yeah. Because you'll hear them say that. I had OD'd and I saw the light, and then, God sent me back. Said, I'm not ready for you yet, and now I'm, reformed and all that. Yeah, how did you picture yourself during that? I know they say when you're in heaven that you're not, like you're back, in a form of being healthy and all of that. But I wonder, do you get to pick maybe since everything's just a paradise, do you get to pick which stage of your life that you want to go back to as far as the way you look?
I doubt it, but he'll know. He'll know like when you felt your best, when you looked your best.
Mm-hmm. So who's gonna highlight my hair in heaven? That's
well, you probably won't have to get touch-ups or anything. Like
no,
your roots will stay the same.
Yeah.
If it's perfection, then it's always going to look good. You won't even have to style it or anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you would go. That's what you're going to look like in heaven. You're going to have highlights.
Yeah, I think when I still had relatively thick hair and I had it highlighted, I think of that because that's also the time where I was in the best shape of my life, when I was during my gym rat phase.
Yeah.
You gonna be tan in heaven?
Yes, tan, thin, hair done. Mm-hmm. But like Nikki Sixx, I remember in Behind the Music, when he was like having that problem, he was like, I saw myself above myself.
Right.
And he had that near-death experience. I'm like, did you still have the tattoos and stuff? Like, is your hair done that way?
Yeah.
Nikki
Do you
Sixx
look like the devil?
A tough-looking character.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Something to ponder.
It is.
If nothing else.
What will I look like in heaven?
Something to ponder. Yeah, I probably would go with. They say that that the Gen Z has gotten back into tanning beds.
I saw that.
Speaking of, are you going to be tan in heaven?
I saw a headline. It was like sun obsessed Gen Z. I went, oh, good for them. Getting
Love
out
that.
In the sun.
Love that.
Break the cycle of just being stuck inside.
Mm-hmm.
Get out there. Love the sun. Put on your sunscreen. Do all the right things. But yeah, great. Get outside.
Yeah, and you talk about not drinking water. My parents not drinking water when we were kids. We didn't even have sunscreen.
Yeah.
Didn't even have it. We had suntan lotion. That was it. Copper tone suntan lotion. You know what sunscreen was? Like for Ace, my radio partner, when he was a kid, since he's redheaded and all, sunscreen for him was a white T-shirt in the pool.
Yeah.
And a hat.
Yeah, sure. I remember, we had a whole box under the sink in the bathroom filled with Hawaiian Tropic, banana boat, deep bronze.
Yeah.
And it was like you load up and then you go lay out by the pool. You know, like dark bronzing spray by Hawaiian Tropic. And we had all that stuff. Sun in, you know.
Mm-hmm. Because y'all had a pool.
Baby oil. Just straight baby oil. That was great.
Yeah, my brother's wife, she used to go lay out, you know, in the yard and rub herself all down with baby oil and iodine and mixed up and stuff. I was like, what is your girlfriend doing out there, Todd?
Getting crazy.
Being a old greased up whore. No, I didn't say that. Mm-mm. All right, so we got one more segment to go.
Yeah,
is that right? All right. Well, I guess we'll do that next.
More of TJ's podcast is coming up.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
If you're so frustrated because you're having to run around all the time, you're so busy, you feel like you're not getting your family something great to eat, then you need Culver's. It's the perfect thing for you. Always made to order, fresh, hot ingredients all day, every day.
And not only do they have the freshest ingredients all day, every day, but they are a part of the community. They're proud to be a part of the Indian Trail community, where they're under new ownership. Belmont, University area, Salisbury. Make them a part of your daily routine. Make it your new neighborhood spot. Short waits for the freshest food in town. Get details at acetj.com/Culver's.
Welcome back, world, to TJ's podcast.
Yo. So, Riggins, you said you saw on the line that Rebel Wilson she's been in the news a lot this week because of this book that she's written, and she said that Borat was a jerk to her and all this stuff, and then he says I wasn't.
Some weird stuff she says he did.
Yeah. Is it in her book that she says that she was a virgin until she was 35?
I think she talked about it in an interview with People, but I think there is a part in the book where she talks about sexuality and stuff. Mm-hmm. She's a lesbian, or she's bisexual. She's married to a woman. And they have
really?
A child, yeah. But I don't know that she didn't come out until a few years ago.
Is her wife the one that made her lose weight?
I don't know that. No. Her wife's very pretty, too.
Oh, you think Rebel Wilson's pretty?
Sure.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
So, was her first experience with a woman or a man?
No, I think it was with a guy.
If she's bisexual.
I don't know that she actually said that, but I assumed it was a guy. Maybe it was another woman. Yeah, I don't know, but she talks about, like, when people would start talking about, when did you lose your virginity? She would be so uncomfortable with the question, even as an adult. Mm-hmm. She would get up and leave the room. It's like, I don't know, that maybe if you're like, 20 or something and you don't want to be judged by your friends, you might be embarrassed that for whatever reason. But as an adult, she said it made her feel real uncomfortable, so she would get up and walk out.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
Like it was something to be ashamed about.
I can't think of any friends that I have as an adult that I would ever just say, hey, when did you lose your virginity?
Yeah, I agree, but maybe it comes up in conversation.
Maybe like a round table of like an interview or something.
Yeah. But 35, that is surprising, especially for a actress in Hollywood.
Yeah. A guy that used to work for us had a friend who was probably mid to late 20s, and he was gay, but he never had sex.
Really? Had he?
He was a gay virgin.
Had he had sex with a woman?
No.
Really?
No.
Why would you? If that's what you want, why wait? What was he waiting for?
I guess to meet the right guy that he cared enough about. He just didn't want random sex.
Had he been out for a long time?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the joke about gay people is like, what do you bring on a second date? A U-Haul.
Yeah.
Like I think that's, I don't know. That's surprising.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's so many questions. Some of them, that come into your head are stupid. It's well, how do you know you're gay? Well, people who are virgins who are heterosexual know that they're heterosexual, even though they've never had sex. You don't have to have sex to know, which side you prefer.
Yeah, that's a dumb question.
Well, he's probably confused. He doesn't even know what gay is.
Yeah.
He might not even like it.
And a lot of guys say that about women too. Like, oh, you've never had sex with a guy. Like, oh, you don't know what you're missing. It's like,
yeah.
Man, I'm pretty sure they got it figured out. They know. You ain't never been with me.
But one thing that I did wonder about that though is the preacher proud of him
for maintaining abstinence?
Yeah, remaining a virgin, but
probably.
But being a homosexual.
Well, if you're not acting on it, maybe that's the sin, is acting on it.
Mm-hmm. Which is the sin, acting on any type of sex if you're not married.
Sure. So if you're gay, he's like, just don't be, gay. It's like, what?
Admire them from afar.
Yeah, right.
Just like I always wonder things like, would the church accept tithing from a guy who owns a strip club? Would you want that money in your church because it came from from that, like ill-gotten gains or whatever?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I've never heard of a church saying no thanks to the money, but I'm sure it's happened.
Sure. Yeah, but I'm not talking about making it like a public donation to the church, things like that. But just like if there's a member of the church who what he does for a living is owns a strip club, and that whatever he gives to the church came from, basically the sex trade.
Yeah. And they know where the money's coming from when, you guys had envelopes and stuff in your name on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they know where that money's coming from. I don't know that I'm sure it's happened though.
Yeah. Methodists want you to pledge.
Yeah.
This is how much I'm going to give to the church. We never did that. I don't want anybody, pointing the finger and going, hey, you didn't give us what you said you were going to give. Yeah. Well, I had a bad month. I don't want to have to explain it to you.
Back off,
it's between me and the Lord.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there are a lot of people who own strip clubs and stuff that go to church.
A lot? You think?
Yeah. Well, I talked to Ace's sister yesterday. She says she's a witch, but goes to church, like regular church.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So, I don't know how they would handle that. I guess, what I need to do? I need to get my preacher friend on the podcast and ask him how that would work.
One of the more controversial questions.
And he's not just a preacher anymore. He's been promoted. He's like one of the regional bosses of the Methodist church. Yeah.
Yeah, or even if if a guy's like a drug dealer, do you take that money?
And how could you have somebody as a member of your church who is a criminal, like makes their money by selling drugs and stuff, and not turn them in?
Yeah.
But you need that new fellowship hall.
Kids need a new basketball hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's a complex question. I'd be curious. Because, if no sin is greater than the other.
Right.
Who's to say? Maybe somebody told a lie. Are you that morning? Are you not going to take their money?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Like as a politician, their money not accepted because they're lying.
Yeah.
And then lying and stripping is the same in the Lord's eyes. I love that we can have these deep philosophical conversations.
That's true.
Right. What phase are you gonna look like in heaven of your life, and do preachers take strip club money?
They're great questions. They're great questions.
I bet they talk about these sorts of things at that Duke University Divinity School that they have up there.
Yeah, sure. It's
All
not
right,
talked about often.
What happens if today we're gonna learn about what you do, how you handle it if a strip club owner is a member of your church and wants to tithe?
A Jezebel.
Or I mean, even that, the stripper. If a stripper comes in and says, "Hey, that's just my job, but I'm right with the Lord," then you go, "Well, is it possible to be a stripper and right with the Lord?" Because then, the Lord wants you to repent and be forgiven, but then you're supposed to stop it. Whatever it was that you were doing.
Make a change.
Mm-hmm. So if you're a preacher, DM us real quick.
Yeah, be curious. 'Cause maybe the opinion differs depending on the church.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Depending on how much the church really needs, how much in need the church is, because God sends us people, in many different forms.
Yeah, sure. Don't get me wrong. The fish fry was very successful. However, we could use a little bit of something, a little padding.
Now I know charities are a different thing. When we were running Grin Kids, people would want to do fundraisers and stuff, and there were times when we'd be like, that's not really, how good for you, and thank you so much for the offer. But those types of events are things that Grin Kids is not really associated with, and you gotta be tactful about it.
Yeah.
Because then you look at them and go, well, they're trying to do something to help.
Yeah, I remember a couple of instances.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't bring the mascot. If the GM wants to swing by, we'd be more than happy to have him. But if you could leave the mascot at home, that would be great.
Okay, well, thank you so much for listening and watching and doing. Remember, even though we'll be on vacation next week, you better listen to all that stuff that I recorded for you. Because I'll know if you didn't listen to it. I'll know what y'all were doing, and then it's going to be hell to pay when I get back if y'all don't. Love you. Bye.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.